basically like not text, but just like you can read quick reporting and whatnot. You have to read like 10-20 minute articles. Who has time to read those kind of financial reports?
This code review says that Constellation is not horizontally scalable. This guy's like decent code, nothing wow, nothing bad, but it's just another chain. Not seeing the smart contract implementation with the DAG or the data storage either. The actor model, while architecturally sexy, doesn't do much. Not a lot going on here. Just DAG 101. Definitely not horizontally scalable. I mean, this guy's I think pretty well known as Crypto Briefing. I think he's the guy who people sort of respect what he says about the code reviews. I mean, it's also hard to really judge these products on their public GitHubs because you'd think that if they were working on anything that was like proprietary or they kind of blew their socks off, they probably wouldn't be just instantly committing it to GitHub before what I mean. I feel like if you have something proprietary, even though it's open source, you're not just gonna let the cat out of the bag right off the bat. So it could be something like that. But I just feel like when you're looking at if they're sitting on 30 million and they took the responsibility and sold their actual ICO earnings and like took the US dollars, then I mean you are looking at a company that just like probably has a cash value more than its current market cap, which I mean could be a good investment. It's not a scam at the very least. And most scams, when they dump this much from ICO and they're not a bad concept, be a pretty decent buy. I'm kind of looking at grabbing a bag.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cheap. Like 150 Satoshi, it's not too bad.
I think actually, so I mean, I think I've actually spoke about this before, and I think the issue is there's a token release coming up. Let me just figure this out. We haven't started, right? The stream. It's just
the stream is on, but I'll cut it up when we start it anyway.
Okay, yeah, because I think there might just be a huge release coming up. That might be it.
Well, tomorrow is Friday, and Bitcoin usually pumps on Friday.
So Bitcoin's gonna dump like crazy. Thanks for cursing us.
Well, I don't even know what's going on. Like this is slow rise again.
We're gonna break out the bottom of this bear flag.
You think so?
Actually, I'll listen to your boy Chano now. As long as are you all in? Are you all in, your boy Chano?
I'm laddering up right currently.
Okay.
You ladder? You playing some StarCraft?
I've never played StarCraft actually.
Oh man!
Yikes! Let's start it up.
StarCraft's a great game.
Okay, well, welcome to this week's Altcoin Alerts. This week we're going to be talking about some credit coins and some staking coins, as well as master notes to go along with the staking coins. But I think the conversation is going to start off with the credit coins, just because like the lending platforms and the credit cards based around crypto holdings are pretty interesting. And we were talking about this last week, just in terms of we didn't really understand how they could actually operate, like if your collateral drops in value by 85%.
The reason why I actually brought that up was because I remember that a huge chump was Salt, and Salt is a lending platform, and nothing ever happened. So I'm trying to see what's going on with their with their stuff and what has been going on in the world of crypto credit, I guess is what they call it. On top of that, I kind of want to talk about the recent Bitcoin move and kind of what has spurred recently today after that move. So yeah, I think I'll just go right into it. If you guys don't mind.
Yeah. No.
Basically, so obviously we saw a very large, like almost a 10% dump in Bitcoin price, and some alts took, anywhere between a 15 to 30% hit. And this thing came out of nowhere. There was two massive sell-offs, more volume than we've seen in a long time, and the volume for the second sell-off had to match the volume that we saw in December. And today we had a bunch of very interesting stuff come out that kind of counteracted that, because we had Coinbase announcing that they want to do an ETF. We saw a lot of money being moved into crypto, which is just really weird. And we had the president of the United States nominated a pro-crypto SEC commissioner now. This is all the day after this very unexpected Bitcoin turn. So I'm very interested to see what happens here with a crypto pro SEC commissioner and Coinbase announcing all of a sudden that they want to do an ETF now. This sounds to me like almost like it's pre-planned.
Yeah, wow, I had no idea about
it's like
the SEC.
We need to like write this stuff down, like the entire like Bitcoin move that's been happening since January. Like it's kind of, I don't know, man, it's kind of crazy. Actually, crazy is probably an understatement. I really don't know what else to say other than that. It's just weird, man. Like it's mind-boggling how people can just so if what Honey's saying is true, like in terms of everything is just like aligning so perfectly.
It is.
It's
It is
it's
completely
so
true.
it's so like it's fascinating to see that a market that can be so heavily manipulated. It's
Yeah.
crazy
And
stuff.
just to share my bias, I took a long here today off of our own alert. The Fisher 1 hour 200 alert hit Bitcoin at 63.90, and I took a long.
Nice.
Call me the smart dude, but I
No,
really do
we
think
won't do that.
I really do think that this was okay, fine. But I really do think that this was just so like well I guess matched up. And I can give you a daily BTC chart if you need one, Mr. Goose. Did you want to say something about it?
Mr. Goose?
Mr.
No,
Goose.
You mean Dr. Price?
Oh,
No,
sorry,
no,
David.
no,
David
he means in the
Davison.
general chat.
yeah.
Bob was talking in the general chat. I'll pull up
Oh, mine in the general chat.
the Bitcoin chart though.
I mean, this is actually, I can't believe how like fortuitous all this is. I had no idea that all this happened today. I just literally Googled the ETF thing. I'm like, and the top article is like, this means the Bitcoin ETF will happen because of this.
Yes.
Look
But
at
I
that.
mean,
Look at that
that
volume profile. Jeez.
when you think
It
about
caught
how
it right
big
at the volume
news,
profile.
this is like
Oh, man.
incredible news. Like we're talking, like this is absolutely incredible because the whole thing with the SEC is they've just been like bullish in a sense that's kind of like crotchety old man of like we don't like the underlying asset. We have no problem with your actual dynamics of making your ETF. The idea of someone actually being the commissioner with that it adds a big be a level of sort of like security to them to understand like, okay, if your boss is pro Bitcoin, maybe you should kind of get in line or at least watch a YouTube video that explains blockchain and you can have a slight understanding of what you're denying. Because I feel like the big issue is that they just haven't come to understand the underlying asset. It's not that they actually have an issue with it, it's that they don't properly understand it.
Yeah, and so I thought I definitely wanted to bring that up first because I felt like it needs to be addressed and something that very interestingly caught my eyes this morning when I saw that. And there was a lot of and I actually saw it on Crypto Panic. If you guys don't use Crypto Panic, it's very helpful for finding quick news. And
what are your thoughts on Ethereum?
Oh, a pain, just pain. Just everything to do with Ethereum lately has just been painful. Even my crypto kitties are selling. That's how you know Ethereum's going down.
Ethereum went down like 23% last night.
Yeah, Ethereum has been just getting wrecked, but I don't know what to think of it because I feel like an Ethereum ETF and a Bitcoin ETF will go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And I'm not necessarily saying that hey, this is the end all be all for price, but it is a good thing as opposed to a bad thing, and especially in the case of being considered as an actual market to trade and as a real market that people can get into. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we'll see something sooner than later?
I think a Bitcoin ETF has been in talks even since like early 2017. So we have to see some sort of news or some sort of a positive outlook on that because this narrative of the ETF has been going on for too long. And to be quite honest, it's been getting tiring to hear, oh, let's just wait for the Bitcoin ETF, then Bitcoin's gonna pump, blah blah. I mean, there needs to be like a fixed statement come out and sometime soon. Preferably like by the end of the year. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not really surprised that Coinbase is getting into the whole ETF game. I was reading an article what they're getting backed by some venture firm that has like $6 billion or something like that.
Yes, they are seeking $6 billion to back.
Nice.
To back this ETF, and this is something that it's as if they just decided that this was going to be like on a whim, Mm-hmm. Which I thought was very interesting. That this such a massive announcement comes after a really large random drop in crypto price.
Like, let's be realistic. There's too many things that happened today. Like
yeah. Speaking of announcements too, sorry. Shapeshift just became a KYC AML company too. That was really shocking. Well, not really, but it's kind of sucks that you need to register for you to use their services now.
Just makes them useless. What's the point of even using it now?
Exactly, right?
Like, I mean, they shoot themselves in the foot by doing that. By being compliant, they're just no longer. There's no utility in it.
Yeah, I mean, like the CEO Eric Voorhees, he's not being very straight up about that fact, but it's kind of obvious that the government forced them to actually have a KYC AML.
Wait, so to use Shapeshift now, it has to
you
be...
need to be a member.
Not right now. I don't. I think the announcement was like, currently, if you're a member, I think you're all good, but they're going to be rolling out KYC like in the short term future.
Oh, I know why. You could. The reason why is because if you are like a hacker or a frauder or whatever, you could use Shapeshift to send them any coin you like, and they will send you back whatever coin you like.
Yeah,
so they
like
could
Monero, for example.
They could send you back Zcoin. They could send you back Monero. They could send you back any privacy coin that is actually protected. And I'm certain that probably a lot of people use that. And so Shapeshift was kind of like, hey, we're tired of hearing all these scams. So yeah, I can understand that. I'm not that would make me not want to use them, but okay.
I mean, totally. Even I'm in that same boat. I don't want to use them anymore. I mean, you might as well use Change LE or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Changely or whatnot.
Yeah,
like
Changely,
if I'm one of those people that does something like that, and I have to have like an account with KYC, then what's stopping me from going to a different vendor?
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. I guess I'm sure they probably have some sort of a basis, but
So
I wouldn't really.
Do you guys have use for those kind of services? Like, I'm not sure what I would use one of those things for personally.
Well, every now and then, if you want to quickly exchange something for a different coin, it's very easy.
I was talking more like about the yeah, like I guess if it's a quick exchange, that's actually awesome. I would use it for that. I was thinking more of the like the an anonymizing aspect of it.
I mean, not yet.
I thought that's like that. You know, you guys are saying like the KYC is a problem because now it's not going to be anonymous, right? Like, but like, who needs it to become anonymous? Like criminals, right?
Yeah, only criminals.
Oh no, I just meant more like, no, because it's just the ease of access is the only reason why I'd ever use it, right? So I'm gonna sign up with my email, confirm an email in one click, and do it. Whereas this is now I gotta sign up, submit my papers, get verified.
Oh yeah,
so it's like, So it's like if I'm gonna KYC, why wouldn't I just KYC the exchange that? Unless like I like, because I mean, like they don't actually have enough stuff on there to like, you know what I mean? If I'm on Binance, I'm on like literally every exchange already. But let's say I'm not. If I'm just on Binance and Bittrex, what else do they really have? Their selection isn't crazy. Like they're not going to hook me up with exchanges that are like straight up only Chinese KYC or like Japanese KYC or something. Like,
and your Chinese KYC is so like easy to bypass. It's insane.
That and
so many of these exchanges, it's crazy.
Yeah, and plus I don't. Let's say for example that American taxes are defined in a way where if you switch from one currency to another, you have to pay taxes on that.
They're gonna report you every single one.
Congratulations, you just found a way to. You did a switch, and now you have to pay taxes on it. So to me,
that is how American taxes work.
Yeah, as in you're going from one commodity to another,
yeah,
right?
It's
or one currency to another.
Unfortunately.
So if if they, let's say they release like the handbook of traders, right? You want to trade crypto, no problem, bro. You have to do this, and you have to report every trade you make, and every time you switch to a currency, that's a taxable event. Well, now Shapeshift will have a full thing of that, and all you want to was just switch out your coins for a different coin.
But that's just avoiding tax law.
Well, I agree, but I also if you just want to switch one coin for another, I guess that is right. That is basically what trading is, because you're not okay. I see what you're saying. To me, like if I'm using one of those programs, I'm not using it to trade. You know?
Yeah.
No, I do get the one side of the argument that you don't really want to get taxed on something that shouldn't be exactly relevant. Like if it's a small amount, like $1,000, $2,000, that you don't really want to get caught on, quote unquote. Then yeah, I get it. But I don't think a big amount you can really get away with it.
Honestly,
anyway.
they just need to simplify the tax reporting and the bookkeeping, and then none of this would be a problem.
Well, maybe this SEC commissioner might
yeah,
help
I
out
hope they do. If they just simplify it, that would be awesome. I mean, it would make a lot of people more willing to invest. So it would be great.
Yeah, especially if the
SEC commissioner?
If the SEC commissioner, his name is Ricksman or something, Roisman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly, but he was Trump's #1 candidate for the new SEC commissioner. Yeah, Hoist Gracie, yes. And he's going to armbar you into making sure you pay your taxes. But no, the guy himself is very pro crypto and has always extended the arm for crypto and has supported Bitcoin as an actual tradable resource.
Nice.
Doesn't Steve Bannon? I mean, he's not in the White House anymore. Even he owns Bitcoin, doesn't he?
Yeah, we don't need to bring that up. All right, but so moving on, Honeyways, you want to start talking about some of your Masternode coins or what Masternode coins you've been looking at? Or
are we gonna send crypto landing for afterwards?
Well, no, we can finish that topic up. I'm actually.
Yeah, let's wrap up crypto lending real quick. So I looked at Monaco today because I saw an article where Monaco is releasing their debit cards. They're actually finally releasing them. Yeah, they have now partnered up with Crypto.com as the Crypto.com official card, and so now at Crypto.com you can essentially take out what is credit, but what they do is they ask for 40% of like a down payment. So if you loan something out with a down payment, it has to be at least 30 to 40% as collateral that you offer in order to get money on your card. Obviously KYC and all
partnered
that.
Up? Don't they own?
I believe they did. I believe one bought the other or something like that.
Yeah,
or
I think Monaco bought Crypto.com.
Okay.
Like that. I don't remember exactly, but I know to me this is interesting because we were talking about this I think last time, not on chat, but it's like what happens if you like put up all this crypto, right? You loan out 80 grand in crypto into cash, and then crypto drops as much as it did. You know, Bitcoin goes down to 5K. I wonder like what happens in that situation, right? Like, do you have to pay them back the full amount still?
No, I see. So I mean, like, I sorry to interrupt, but because I've been looking into that for like a couple of the other platforms, and not a single one of them actually addresses what happens if that happens. Because essentially what they're saying is it's like the collateral is what they get. But if they get the collateral, then they end up, they don't come out on top. They end up losing big time. And I mean, Nexo and Salt both have like extremely low interest rates. So they're not earning their money from the interest payments on your loan payments. And there's like, I mean, I went through both FAQs, I went through both Reddit AMAs. Like they don't address what actually happens if it drops completely and you're a dick. Like, if you're not in it, because there's no personal guarantee. The Salt one is specifically like there's no personal guarantee. This loan is just your crypto. So you have to have like 80% of the value, or I think it was 60% of the value. But it's like, does that really matter when if you took a loan at the top, you were like, I don't know. I mean, they literally don't address it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, like if you, let's say, if Bitcoin, let's say for example, were like $80,000 at some point, right? You put in one Bitcoin as collateral and you get 60,000, and then eventually it drops back down to 10,000. How the hell is the company profiting off of this?
Exactly.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah,
and they don't address it. Like the whole FAQ talks about it talks about if you can't pay it back from if you get laid off. It's like if you get laid off, you contact support, you work on it. But I don't think they understand that in a market like this, if I have an opportunity to buy as many Bitcoins as I gave you and still have money, I'm probably just going to default on the loan, because Salt specifically says like there's no personal guarantee. So like my credit doesn't get affected, my life doesn't get affected, just their bottom line does. And like I said, I spent like for the last like hour just was like looking in the AMAs and stuff to see if I could find them say like a valid defense of that, and there's nothing. And Nexo's pretty similar. Like Nexo has more I think stringent rules. Like they're a bit more. They say they don't do credit checks. Both of them say that. So I don't quite understand how they don't do credit checks. Same with Monaco. They said the same thing.
Nexo offered me and Sid to market their platform for a 0% interest loan. Or they didn't say 0%, but they said a really good interest loan.
Wow. Classic.
That was literally their thing. Was like, oh hey, when our platform launches and it works, and we have everything in order, and we're approved by all the people we need to be approved, and the ICO is successful, and we release the tokens, we might give you a good loan.
Hey guys, thanks for not selling out.
I was like, how's that sell out? You guys want me to get in depth?
The worst part is these guys, like, they actually did super well right after ICO from shilling. Like, they paid the right people to get promoted, and it did, like, I think a 4 or 5x maybe. It's like half ICO price now, I'm pretty sure. But it like went to 40 cents from 10. So it did, like,
I mean, like, look,
4x.
Common sense tells me, especially in the crypto market, that this is not a viable business model.
But the thing about Nexo is they offer dividends as well. So they haven't paid out any so far, but they're supposed to be paying some before. Yeah, so it's half of its US dollar value. I mean, it's just 87% of its F value, so it's not, too terrible. But it's just ridiculous that this company, like all of them, this one specifically pays dividends. Salt doesn't pay dividends, but none of them have an actual way to enforce their business. Like, a bank has the ability to enforce it because your credit rating goes down. They can come after you for the actual items. Like, they have an actual right to it. In this case, there's no personal guarantee. There's no credit checks. It's like sorry, actually, because I had a thought. My thought was that, is it just purely a play on the idea that they're long-term bullish on crypto, so that all of these loans, if they make the number that default in a few years, will be worth so much more? Like, the market's obviously downturn 80%, but if it goes up 500%, or whatever, goes up 10,000%, like, they're obviously in a better position. So is it a long-term just pure bullish play onto the crypto market? They're like, we'll accept these loans. Well, some people will be honorable and pay them back because they'll be fine. Their crypto won't drop enough. And some people will default. But the ones that default, they're going to give us enough crypto that when the bull run happens, we're going to remake the money. Like, is it a play on that?
I just wish there was, like, one case, like a person that legitimately bothered money, so I can bothered, so that I can find out what happens.
I think there was on the subreddit.
Well, like 2 months ago or something like that, on Twitter, I saw somebody talking about salt lending, and they were just asking a question about did anyone actually use salt lending platform and they actually received their money or not. But I didn't see any replies on his thread. So it was interesting to see. Like, I remember salt was worth what, like 10, 20 bucks?
If you guys, if it's a salt, so that's another thing with salt that I wanted to address. I should have addressed this when we were going over champs and chumps. So a lot of people bought salt because you could use salt, and apparently what they claimed was, like, on their platform, one salt was $27. So people said, oh, well, the price right now is $3, but on their platform it's $27. So obviously, naturally, by some sort of magical logic, it should go to $27. But of course, it actually run to, I think it was $25, right?
$17 is what it's.
Oh, $17, yeah.
Damn.
So that's it, and then.
And what was the purpose of their token?
To use the salt token to lend, like, you have to lend in salt, like, you have to transfer salt to the lending platform on their website.
Doesn't that make them a security?
I think so, yeah. And so they went through all that, and then we had all these other issues with that whole thing. And so basically, people bought with this really stupid kind of idea that this thing was going to be worth $27 forever just because their platform said so. And then they were selling ledgers for like 4 salt. So you could buy a ledger for like $12. It had salt written on it. So I don't know if you really wanted that, but.
No, I saw that, like, that was like around last year, end of last year, right, or something like that.
So I think if you guys do manage to find a case like that, please let me know. It'd be great to find out what happened, and if that's actually a possibility.
I mean, like, all I can see is somebody complaining on the subreddit that the interest rates are too high, and that's why nobody's taking the loans.
That could be it too. It could be that nobody can take because what if they put up like a 23.99 APR? But am I gonna take a 23.99% interest loan?
Yeah, you might as well get a credit card then.
Exactly. Yeah, I might as well get a 12% credit. So it's very interesting to me. I wonder what would happen if you took a loan right away. What's your take on this, Dr. Price?
I guess I don't really have an opinion on it.
Would you take a loan with the Salt Boys?
No, I would not take a loan on any crypto-related platform right now in the short term. No, thank you.
I mean, plus like if you like the whole loan thing that they have, it's only for like emerging markets. I mean, if you're in North America, I don't think you even need to worry about that because we have so much liquidity provided to us. If you want to withdraw a certain amount of money in crypto, you can easily sell your crypto like in OTC
Yeah.
or some new exchange. You know, it's very easy for us to do. But I guess it's understandable for markets that don't have access to the types of channels that we do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just don't think any of these platforms can ever really take off. The credit cards, they have an opportunity because it's like I would be willing to have a chunk of my crypto as like my credit card bank account if I was like trying to keep off the grid or something. Whereas like the actual loans just don't make sense because like you have to wire
Well,
it
for
into
the
a
credit
personal bank
card,
account.
so I ordered my Stack credit card. It should be here hopefully by tomorrow or on Monday. So they said they're gonna have Q4 is when you can start spending crypto on it. They
Cool.
partnered up with a bank in Canada. So, and I talked to their team as well when I went to visit a couple of weeks back. Second of all, 10x had their credit card from way back last year. I had it, I used it, and it worked. So they're reissuing cards to people. I think they started doing that in Singapore already, and I'm pretty sure I'm in like the top 100 or 200 people to get who's gonna get their card. So when I do get them,
Nice.
I'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Well, the stack card, especially if it works in Canada, I definitely want to hear about this because that would be
Yeah,
tight.
a stack apparently does work in Canada. So I mean, let's see when I get my card.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll
Yeah,
definitely let you guys know.
like you give me the test. You go to McDonald's, you know, you get yourself 10 Big Macs in honor of Sergey Nazarov, and you let me know how.
Are you so when you used your 10x card, how much of a percentage charge was there?
So let me see. I have my history over. What do you mean by percentage charge? Like
Well,
how
don't
much
they
did the
charge
10x?
per transaction?
No, they charge the merchants that. I don't get charged anything.
Oh, fucking savages.
Yeah. That's why their ICO was so appealing because and their ICO was a security, but you know we can get into the argument, but it's not worth it because they just don't want to say it. It's clearly a security because what they were saying is that if you own 10x tokens, you would get a monthly dividend out of people who spend that who use the platform and spend that token. And since the SEC started cracking down on a lot of the rules late in 2017, they changed their fine print. So as of now, the 10x token does absolutely nothing except for price manipulation, I guess. But hopefully, once the security market gets a bit more robust, they start issuing their security tokens. You can actually use their tokens and keep them and actually earn a dividend for every customer they spend, every customer that spends on their platform. Because one of the big things that these guys have, and I don't own any 10x tokens, by the way, but one of the big things that these guys have that they have their own banking license, so they can just directly issue cards to their customers without going through a third party, which is pretty big.
Yeah, that's huge. The bank always seems to be the one barrier to entry is finding a bank that will actually support them.
Yeah, they were slow to do it because I mean this stuff takes time obviously, and there not that many updates were coming out, but these guys are going full force ahead. So hopefully Q4 is going to be pretty good.
You sound like you like and support these guys.
I like what they're doing, man. They're very transparent about what they're doing. Although I don't own any of their stuff, but like what they're doing is pretty good stuff, man. And the thing is, like their product worked. Like I had it, I used it. That's the only crypto product that actually worked well before their ICO even happened. So that's why it like makes me a bit more bullish on the fact that these guys can actually make a pretty big dent in the market when it comes to spending crypto.
Wow. So do you think 10x is too low right now or what?
It's well below ICO price from what I remember. I know the ICO sold out literally in like 10-20 seconds. There is $83 million like that. So
I remember it being one of the projects that like really attracted me when I first got into crypto because I was like, oh wow, this just seems like, I mean, but it was also part of the dividend thing because I was like, wow, that could be an extremely like.
I'm sorry, what project was that?
10x. That's pay is the ticker.
X10.
PAY.
Yeah, it was my first ICO that I ever participated in. I know it was like literally the next day after SNT happened. But yeah, Let's see, man. Q4 is going to be very interesting for a lot of these projects.
Yeah, crypto's worthless. They're all going to zero. We know. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's only the crypto or the loaning stuff I saw basically. Because there's only really Nexo, Salt, there's Monaco for a card, and 10x for a card. But 10x just seems like it's actually like a reasonable. It's like completely reasonable. They're not asking for a high interest rate, and they're just like you can literally spend your crypto as your balance. Whereas the loans are very much like they just seem like they're a bad deal for both parties. Essentially, like I mean, unless you buy in a situation where the crypto goes up a ton in value, and then obviously you're gonna pay the loan back because you have to. But in a situation like the entire year, it seems like their entire business model would have failed because the entire year you're well, I guess not the entire year, but depending on when you got your loan, there was a decent chance that the money you got from that loan was worth more than the crypto, and you probably just you bailed on the loan, and there's no enforceability. I mean, I guess moving on from the crypto loan platforms, let's talk about some staking and some Masternode coins. Like, money, you're gonna lead us off with.
Yeah, I can talk about some stuff if you don't mind pulling some stuff up on the screen for me, Mr. Dr. Price.
I'm at the helm.
Mr.
There
Doctor.
we go. So first of all, since you know the market is quite a depressive son of a bitch right now, I would like to address what POS is. I'm sure if there's somebody that doesn't know POS, please feel free to stop me. But obviously, proof of stake is a different type of way of processing transactions, and it's done through the users that actually hold the coin. The first proof of stake coin is still alive today. It's Purecoin. They actually call it Purecoin, which is kind of cool. Other than that, let me see if I can get a. There it is. So Purecoin has been around for I think it was 4 years now. And so basically, if you're interested in doing that with masternodes and staking, even basic staking is basically you just keep the wallet open and a certain amount of coins, and you get a percentage return. Now with staking, it's usually a pretty small percentage. It's like anywhere between 1 and 15%. On masternodes, you are looking at anything that the coin features or decides to make it. So if you wouldn't mind going to masternodes.online for me, good sir.
The only coin that I was staking was Ember.
I had Ember too. I still have some Ember.
I still have them. I just have a sell order on Cryptopia.
So if you could order it by ROI, just to start. So obviously the biggest proof of stake masternode coin is Dash, and to own a Dash masternode, you need currently 1,000 Dash coins, or approximately $180,000. So unless you're one of those people that likes to, shell out an incredible amount of money and lose it by the time the bear market hits, you guys can see here that a lot of these people make masternode coins that are utterly worthless, even because they promise a big ROI. They release the coin saying, "Wow, you can make 3,000% a year. You could double up and make all this money if you just buy our masternode coin." But in reality, you have to think about coin emission when it comes to that. So basically, I know that I forgot who asked me to go over this. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away, and I'll gladly answer any questions. But basically, what happens is that a lot of these coins, they'll release their coin. It'll be a complete scam or a copy of a wallet or some total crap. And so basically, what it results is in way too many coins being made. So by the time it hits any exchange, those coins are dumped instantly, and there goes your idea. So a lot of these coins, they have a pre-sale for oh hey, just one Bitcoin for a masternode. It'll make you 10 masternodes in 10 days. But in reality, everybody gets there before you, and obviously the first people to sell on you are the devs. So you kind of have to be careful when you're picking masternode projects. So I'll just share a couple of mine that I like and that I've been a part of. And would you mind going to let's see here. So you guys can see masternodes.online features every masternode coin. It shows the coin price that it currently is, what the price has changed to, how much a masternode is worth if you're interested in purchasing one to support the dev team, or just hold one for yourself. And you're obviously going to need virtual private servers and all that.
You're still holding Zcoin, right? Zcoin, is that the
I am, yeah. So if you but see, the biggest problem with masternode coins is that you are perpetually creating, unless masternode coins are pumped, you are perpetually creating a scenario where you are giving users the ability to constantly sell. So
it's like the most inflationary coin, right?
yeah. So basically, what you have to do is essentially, if you're gonna invest in a masternode, just be ready that for people to constantly dump rewards. There has to be enough buying power, enough interest in the coin, and enough volume on an exchange for you to be able to do either the same or acquire more if you're interested in getting a second one or whatnot. But Dr. Price, if you could go to coinsignals.trade, which is, by the way, a really great website if you guys don't know about it. It basically makes a trading view chart of anything on CoinMarketCap, which is really, really cool. So if you could type at the top, well, first of all, let's look at Zcoin, XZC. You don't need this for Zcoin. You could just use TradingView, but So if you look at Zcoin versus Bitcoin, you will see that it is currently utterly trashed. And if you look at the daily chart, if you don't mind zooming out a bit, Dr. Price.
The daily chart is so weird.
The daily chart is like a double bottom weirdness. So as you can see, Zcoin has had a very interesting run, and it is currently at a level that I would say is extremely well organized for its for accumulation. If you believe that Zcoin has a future, but as you can see, the Zcoin chart is kind of weird because from the moment that they released, they had extreme success followed by extreme sell-offs, followed by extreme success, followed by a period of nobody cares about this. Then they announced masternodes. That was right before in December when Zcoin underwent this massive pump. It went from like $20 to 140 overnight, and a lot of people, bought in that on that hype or sold off, and now we're back where we started. This chart looks like if this coin's going to do anything, this is pretty much its chance. And now if you could look at let's look at, for example, XLQ.
What's up?
Great. Okay. Thank you. So Alco is a smaller masternode coin, and from the moment it launched on Crypto Bridge, it got completely ran up. So you were able to buy this coin at 10 cents on pre-release, and you were able to sell it if you got your money to Crypto Bridge fast enough for somewhere as high as $2. So that's quite a large return. But as you can see, a lot of these masternode coin charts, they have the kind of the same path, kind of the same pattern. It involves a very large pump to begin, as it's listed on a new exchange, followed by a large sell-off of rewards that people have collected, followed by like a minor relief period, and then more sell-off because of this large bear market that we've had. But I really do like what the Alco team is doing, and I do support them, and I've held on to most of my rewards from them. I did take profit because $2 was just the most unreasonable thing I've ever seen in my life. Other than that, one more that I support is called Bulwark and BWK. And Bulwark is a really solid masternode coin that has like an amazing development team behind that has always communicated everything. They're working on actually secure nodes that you can actually hold in your house, which I thought were really which I thought was really cool. As in like physical nodes that won't go down because they run, right from your home. And obviously, as these masternodes are running, they're processing transactions, and as you can see in this case with Bulwark, you had the release on Crypto Bridge, which was the first pump, followed by the release on Cryptopia and this massive run of everybody trying to buy a masternode during the bull market because they released just at the right time, followed by a massive sell-off, and we're now back literally at the start of the coin. And as you can see, a lot of these charts, look almost the same or identical, and it's because this is kind of the trip that you have with Masternode coins. If you're stuck on the bottom and you mind that, then I feel bad for you. If you don't care and you support the team and you think that it has a bright future in proof of stake transactions and the ability to do stuff, I think that this is probably a really good opportunity if you're interested in the development team and you're interested in what they have to create. But in terms of running a Masternode coin, I can personally tell you that it is quite a bitch. You constantly have to update the masternodes. You constantly have to make sure your stuff is running. You constantly have to, either install new masternodes or send your rewards off to an exchange. And it is quite tedious at the moment, but it is of course in its very early stages. I do believe that it does give a lot of power to the uh, to the users themselves because you get to hold a masternode and control it. And and a lot of masternodes are now putting in governance, which means that you get to vote as the masternode owner on decisions made by the development team, which I think is a really cool idea for masternodes to be able to do that. However, a lot of these coins like Bulwark and Alco, they started originally as hybrid coins, meaning that they were both proof of work and proof of stake. So for example, if a block is processed, a percentage of that reward would go to miners, and then another percentage of that reward would go to people running a masternode, and then another percentage of that reward would go to the dev team. And so a lot of that, when you combine the selling pressure of both the masternode owners collecting rewards, people staking, and people mining, you see basically what are extremely large sell-offs. So at this point, if you're at this stage of Bulwark's coin, you are just hoping that whatever they do or whatever they're planning takes off, because obviously, as you can see, this chart looks like it's running on life support.
Fumes.
And so my advice to you, if you're interested in buying a Masternode coin or you're interested in finding out about how they work, is it passive income? Yes, you don't do much for it. How much will you make? That changes every single day. Don't rush into it. Do research about everything. How many coins are there? How many coins did they plan to release? How did the block rewards change? How at what block count does it change? How much time will it take for these coins to come out? How large do you think the self pressure will be? Obviously, if a coin comes out and it's 100 coins for a masternode, but it makes you 300 coins a day, you have to understand that there's somebody with a lot more money that's going to obviously sell and dump on you. So it may look like a good idea at the start, but you have to be very careful when you enter projects like these. On top of that, do research on the dev team. Is it a good development team? What experience do they have? Do they have an active social media community? Do they have an active Bitcoin talk? What kind of basically you should have your fundamentals completely understood. And if you don't, then you're in trouble.
So what do you think about services that allow you to stake your coins without actually requiring that you run a node yourself?
So I think it's a good idea, but because when you stake yourself, you have to stake on a virtual private server or keep a computer on at all times. It's not a good. That's really bad because obviously you're gonna run into issues. You have to know Ubuntu. You have to understand how to install these things, how to put it in. A lot of the times people don't understand this and they try to get somebody to do it for them. Not a good idea. You basically, you're stuck with this perpetual loop of, oh, I have a problem and I can't figure it out because I don't know how to get to my coin or I don't know how to access this Ubuntu server or stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the most of the node coins that I've had experiences with, a lot of the times their wallet just breaks every other week, so you have to constantly update it, sync the server, things like that. It's not fun, but like if once the bull market comes and you have a couple of good masternodes, you can make a lot of good money on them.
Yes, there definitely is money to be made, especially on if you buy the bottom on just like any other coin, and you just sit there and let it collect, and the dev team stays active and they're doing good things. Like the reason why I'm interested in both Bulwark and Alco is because they're both doing a fiat to crypto exchange on their own, because a lot of the times these masternode coins have issues getting on large exchanges like Binance and Bittrex. Cryptopia will take them, but Cryptopia's volume isn't stable. And so I really like the fact that if you do believe in crypto and you think that the crypto comes back, and I think that you can see very good returns. But be careful with what project you choose to put your money into. A lot, like I've participated in projects that turn out to be scams. Like a friend of mine bought Harvest Node Masternode coin, and he was getting good returns. And then he said, "Hey, hop in on a node. You'll have a second one here in like 2 days." And I was like, "Okay, well, it doesn't cost anything." So it was like a $200 lesson. But at the end of the day, the coin died, and nobody knew anything about the team, and it was a perfect example of a coin that you don't want to purchase. So yeah, that's about it. In terms of like masternode services, Alco has a masternode service where you can they will run all the masternodes for you. Obviously, I think they take a percentage fee as expected, but it is what it is. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I currently own 4. I own Bulwark, Alco, Zcoin, and my friend started up his own. It's called Zix, XZX. It's currently a huge shitcoin, but essentially what Zix does is it's a coin designed to use the masternode rewards or a portion of them to donate to various charities around the world in crypto. And I think it's a really good message to spread. And at the same time, I really like the fact that with governance, the masternodes are able to vote who the rewards go to, like St. Jude's or Alzheimer's Foundation or anything else. So I like stuff like that. It's a small project, but I would say 20% of my portfolio is in masternode coins, and that has obviously been the coins that have taken the largest hit in this market.
Mm-hmm.
So be wary. I mean, you're looking at days where you wake up and your masternode coins are worth $20,000, and then the next day they're worth $1,200.
So do you so you're running 4 different masternode coins, and is it all like, is it a pain to keep those all going, or like you said, or
it's tedious as hell right now? I would say it is extremely tedious because obviously over time I've accumulated more masternodes. Like my altcoin became 2, then 2 became 4, and now instead of running just 1 node, I'm running 6, and now it's like six times the maintenance. Oh, Linode has a big hack that happens called was it meltdown? Is that what they called it? Or Spectre, right?
Well, that was for literally all servers that use.
Yeah. So because of that, everybody's masternodes got shut down. Literally everybody's. So the cool part is, if you're one of the people like me that's like very close to the dev team and they do a large update, like Bulwark recently switched from hybrid to just proof of stake, then I set all my coins to just proof of stake rather than masternode, and I collected very good proof of stake rewards. So there is some benefit to being the first of the party, but you have to be involved. I obviously check masternode news every day to see where they're going. Alco will have their fiat to crypto exchange called Bitfinian out in November. They're planning for November to have it fully out with beta testing, and they are approved by whatever the Swiss SEC is to actually do it and can transform exchange fiat currency into Alco, which I think is really cool. So we'll see what happens. If it does do well and you collect dividends, I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Other than that, I don't mean to bore you guys. If you guys had any other questions, let me know.
No, I mean, you pretty much explained it quite well.
Hey, great show, honey. That was incredible.
Yeah, I'm glad. And let me know if you have any questions. My advice would just be do your research. God, please do your research. Ask me if you don't understand something, because a friend of mine that I've known for a long time, he actually wrote that altcoin trader handbook. Nick Patel. He wrote about a story how he downloaded a masternode coin called Phantom X. It was a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake coin, and he did the math, and he was able to farm out a masternode in 3 days. So he set it to mine overnight and went to sleep, and then he woke up and all of his wallets were emptied.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when it happened.
And it literally, the hacker used the wallet to put in some sort of a remote control Trojan. And yeah, so be very, very careful who you trust or what you use, because a lot of these projects kind of go to crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fortunate, but that's the reality of a lot of these. Yeah, you have to be very careful of downloading these kind of softwares. You gotta check.
Yeah, any
Check,
wallets in
triple
general.
check. Yeah.
And it's a tedious fucking process, but it keeps me busy, and at least it keeps me interested in the coin. Like I want to know more about what they're doing. Why are they rolling out these updates? Blah blah blah. It's people think that it's as easy as hey, we put in this QT wallet and the returns add up and whatnot. But there's a lot more to it when it comes to development and what separates one wallet from another and stuff like that. Like I think Zcoin really needs to update their wallet because their wallet looks like Litecoin's 3-year-old wallet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they should be really due, but they're very focused on international attention and stuff like that. But yeah, tread very carefully and be wise and don't if you're sketched out, if you're not sure, don't be afraid to turn back. Or if you think that this coin just came out, the price is gonna go up, don't worry. These masternode coins bounce around like this, like crazy. You have one person that bought 80,000 of them on pre-sale, and he's dumping to the whole market, and you can definitely catch your edge. A lot of people bought Bulwark at $15, and I waited and I bought my Bulwark at $1, and it's currently 80 cents. So even in a bear market, I didn't take that big of a hit, but those people did. And it's not because the coin's bad or it's a scam. It's just because a lot of miners and a lot of people collecting rewards just kept selling.
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly to do with the bear market as well. But
yeah, I mean, people just collect rewards and they dump them. They don't care how much they make. They just want more money. And I think that a lot of it is just the devs. A lot of the time, the people will come in and or into the Discord channel and they'll be, oh, I'm so unhappy, or screw you guys, this coin dumped. And it's like the devs can't do anything about that, dude. Like they don't control what people do with their coins. That's the whole point of a decentralized system. If you want to be safe and sound, you can invest in stocks and message my boy Dr. Price here.
Sure.
Or don't. Please don't bother him.
AMD's killing it.
Yeah, I know. I love AMD.
Yeah, I would say keep an eye out in the news. I'm really looking forward to see what this SEC commissioner does or what Coinbase does next. But man, if they add ETFs and they're the first to do it and they beat out Gemini to it, I'll be freaking shocked.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Gemini gets beat to this because Coinbase just simply has way more volume and a bit more of a name in the industry than Gemini does.
Those poor twin brothers, man.
They always get screwed.
Yeah, it'll be fun and interesting, I guess, to see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a very interesting scenario that plays out. It's just like the timing was just so weird because that sell that came in yesterday, it really came out of nowhere. Like it just came out of completely nowhere.
Well, it reminds me of the Mount Gox dump that just happened a couple months ago too, right? Somebody said like somebody, I don't know, I was reading this on I don't think it was a Twitter or Reddit, but it's like 100,000 Bitcoin worth of dump or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, is it that guy the wallet that woke up from 4 years ago or whatever that moved to Bitrex and Binance?
I'm not sure.
There was a wallet with 111,000 Bitcoin that hasn't been used for 4 years, and RBTC started tracking him, and he moved like 17,000 and 27,000 to Binance and Bitrex, and started selling. So yeah, if you wake up with $111,000 in your wallet, please, or $111,000 Bitcoin in your wallet, please call me.
Mm-hmm.
I have coins to sell you.
Trafficking drugs, oh my lord.
I don't even know what you do with all that money, dude. Like,
yeah,
that's if you wake up with that much money,
like, and then you starts moving it right away.
Well, a lot of people always ask me because a lot of people on the outside don't really understand the way the market works, and they were like, "Oh wow, like you did so well. How does it feel to be this rich then and this poor now? You must have felt so good." No, dude, you feel exactly the same. rich or poor or whatever, you feel exactly the same. I'm sure you guys can agree with that.
There's a
There
saying.
wasn't anything.
Yeah, like if you were stingy before and you become rich, you'll be even more stingy. But if you were generous and you became more rich, you'll become a bit more generous. I mean, people don't change, man. It's not much. I think it has it might have to do a bit more with the hits that we take in this market as well. Easy come, easy go. That type of situation is very prevalent in this space.
Well, I think that when I make a profitable trade or I open like a profitable margin position, which I do very rarely, but when I do, I use Altcoin Alerts. So, when that does happen, I'm proud of it because I feel like I earned it. But when a coin goes up, 130% overnight, or Alco goes up 40% overnight, like it did, I don't feel that same sense of reward.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, like instead of this is that like those pump and dumps, right? Oh,
yeah, like I don't feel like I earned it. I feel like I just,
No, I totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, especially if this is your livelihood, right? It's definitely something to take into consideration. Yeah, I think.
All right.
Is that all the topics that we have for today?
Yeah, keep your head up, guys. It's not over. There's still a lot more fun to be had.
One newbie question, if you guys got time.
Stupid questions is how we learn, man. Please ask anything.
So in a bear market, why is Chainlink and HOT doing well? Is that just because of news?
I didn't see any news that came out from Chainlink.
I think a lot of the time some of these
HOT I saw they're doing that stuff with Mozilla, and they also have been having like a couple conferences. But
well, as you can see, what a lot of people are doing is that they're just pre-buying insider pumps, and that's pretty much what you see a lot of the market. I think Chainlink honestly has grown naturally because I don't know what's happening with them, but we can ask resident Chainlink expert Siddhartha.
No, there's actually no news lately. It's just people are waking up to the biggest project in crypto.
Okay, there you go, guys.
Hot take.
That's a hot take.
Biggest project in crypto.
Well, I personally think that Chainlink has quite a lot of potential to.
I really didn't know you felt about Nano that way, man. Biggest project in crypto, huh?
Do you feel that way about Nano, Honey Moose?
I like what they're doing. I just wish that people would stop hacking it, their exchange.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So see, the thing with coins like Nano and Bitcoin Cash and insert negative coin here is when the news hit, they hit hard. There's coins that hit and you don't even feel it, or there's coins that hit and they just hit really, really hard. But yeah, I think from what I understand, like for example, Engine Coin just got listed on Upbit Beta. I got the news on my little crypto alert thing.
Yeah,
on
it
my
got
iPhone.
So it gets listed on.
Yeah, so it got listed on there, and by the time I checked the price, it was already up 37%. So somebody is hiding. There's always money being moved behind the door, closed doors, and in a bull market you would be like an announcement like that with 3x, but in a bear market it'll make 25%. But if they can make 25% consistently every week or every time they do that crap, they'll be pretty good. They'll be really happy. So trade at your own risk and always be ready for stuff getting randomly pumped because people know about the news before we do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's safe really going to try to chase those kinds of things because sometimes it is pre-planned or the people know things you don't. And
yeah, there's really no way to chase it, as we've learned in with the Altcoin Alerts listings bot. Because by the time we see it, we actually read it off the API, and by then somebody makes an announcement or says something, right?
I know there's another bot that I use called the Crypto Bot. That one's a bit faster.
The Crypto Alert bot, or?
Let's just call Crypto Tracker Bot. It's on like.
Yeah, that's the one I have, and it's
Yeah.
the fastest I have, and it's still behind. So
Yeah.
that just tells me that there's other forces at hand, and people always have their hand in the cookie jar. All you're just seeing is money being flown back and forth and manipulated.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Unless you guys wanted to ask anything else, I think we've had a really productive session for how shitty the market looks today.
yeah, it's good content. Thanks for leading the discussion.
I do have one more, if you don't mind.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please ask as many questions as you like. Yes, please like us and subscribe us, and please join us for free on Discord. While supplies.
If you're not talking about YouTube, I'm already subscribed. But or yeah, whatever it is. So my question is the loaning or the loans trying to get South America into crypto. I'm on the whale pool cash with
your mic's cutting out.
So they're doing loans in South America to get these countries volume into crypto and moving away from other stuff, being the
like Venezuela or what?
Yeah, Venezuela, just any massive socialist country that's tanking right now. I know Brazil's actually doing something with it too. I hear you guys like snickering. I know I'm not like, I don't have time to do all this. I'd put like 40 hours a week into studying for nursing right now. But like, is that?
Dude, he was moving his chair. Nobody's
catalyst. Is that also going to be a catalyst in everything? That's all this timing and crap that's going on with the ETF, White House, markets and all that stuff. Would that be a benefit, or do you think that's just kind of fluff?
It's just fluff. Think about how much money is actually going to get loaned to these people and how much is actually going to head into the crypto market compared to if one institutional investor was to take, like, one organization was to step into the United States, would offset every single person in those countries. Like, the amount of savings of the average person in Venezuela is tiny. Same with Brazil. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like the actual, for like the retail investor side, there's so much less buying power per person compared to a country in North America.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, simply because of the again, it goes back to the infrastructure and the channels that we have, right? Another thing that I've noticed is, like, I mean, historically speaking, Q4 has always been pretty good for cryptocurrencies in general. So you might see by the end of September something big happen, or might dump again. So you never know.
Thank you for telling me that. That kind of gives me a little heads up, but that also gives me a little sentiment on the public outlooks, thinking that even though that's fluff to you guys who, know their shit, versus normies who are going to want, they see that the way future currency works, and this might be their like an in or something. And I don't know. I think that would be kind of a catalyst in that sense. But I appreciate that. That clears stuff up. I didn't realize that a country would have less corporation in the U.S., but that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, that's the biggest part, right? Like, a lot of these countries just don't have that access that we do. I mean, it's just, honestly speaking, like, it's living in North America, like, people just get spoiled, right? Because they think that like the access that we have isn't available on a global scale. So it's tough for a lot of these people. That's why, like, local Bitcoin is very popular in a lot of these outside countries, and the only way you can actually get like big amounts of cryptocurrency is through doing OTCs. Other than that, like, if you have like online transactions going on, and if you don't have a US bank account, then you can't really do much about it.
That's making a lot of sense. Thank you for that. You guys had a fucking awesome show, especially Honey Moose talking about all this dev shit. It's to get back up on Ubuntu if I want to get my nodes running.
Yeah, we can help you with that.
Around for it, but I'll be showing up for the shows more. Thank you guys. That was a really good show.
All right, yeah, thanks for showing up and chatting. Anyone listening, you guys can show up and chat too. Drop on in, ask your questions.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, thanks guys. We'll talk to you guys later.